The parable of the unforgiving servant. Jesus told this parable and is found for us in the Bible in Matthew chapter 18. A parable is a story that Jesus made that is made up, but the story illustrates a point. So because this is a made-up story, we are going to tell it here with these pictures. The unforgiving servant. Imagine that there was a king. And this king, one day, decided that he wanted to find out all of the accounts of all of his servants. So he called all of his servants, and one by one, he checked his record books to find out how they were doing. Now, as he began to reckon those accounts, he discovered one servant who owed him 10,000 talents. Do you see the guy there wearing red? That's the servant that owes him a lot of money. A ton of money. In fact, I'm sure this servant doesn't even know how much money he owes. But he owes him 10,000 talents. Well, this man couldn't repay the debt. And so the king commanded that the man was to be sold, and all of his possessions and everything that he had, all of his money was to be taken away, and his wife was to be sold, and his children would be sold, and all of that money still wouldn't cover the man's debt. Well, the servant was alarmed. That sounded horrible. So he fell down on his knees before the king, and he said, "Sir, please have patience with me. I just need some more time, and I can repay you all of this money that I owe you. Please, just have mercy. Have patience with me, and I will pay you all." Well, the problem is that man could not repay that debt. It was too big of a debt. But the king was moved with compassion. He felt sorry for the man, and he felt how the children and the wife would feel if they were separated. So he decided that he would forgive the man. He would forgive the man from his debt. He no longer had to pay it. The king had made it so he did not have to repay him. Now, if I was someone in that case, I would be very happy. I would run home and I would tell my wife and my children, and I would probably buy them ice cream because I'd be so happy because I like ice cream. But in Jesus' story, the servant doesn't go home. The first thing he does after he's been forgiven from the king for all that debt, he goes straight to one of his fellow servants, another man. And he goes to the man and he says, "You know what, buddy? You owe me 100 denarii. You owe me some money." And he grabbed him by the throat and he put his hands around him and he said, "Pay me now, buddy. You owe me money. Pay it to me." Now, boys and girls, 100 denarii is still a lot of money. It's several months' wages, but it's not as much as 10,000. And he said, "Pay me, pay me." And the man in the blue shirt, he fell down on his knees and he says, "Oh, sir, I don't have the money. Please have patience with me and I will repay you. Just give me some more time and I will pay you back." But the first man, the man in the red, said, "No, you have to pay me. If you don't pay me, I'm going to have you thrown in jail until you pay the debt." He would not have mercy on the man. And that's what he did. Because the man in blue wouldn't pay him the debt because he didn't have the money. He had him thrown in jail. Wow. Well, when the fellow servant, "Hi, Jerry, Giraffe. What are you doing here?" What? You have to go tell the king? What? You have to go tell the king what? Uh, you have to go tell the king? I don't get it. What are you going to tell the king? Huh? You can pretend to be the servant? Well, Jerry, I mean, that's kind of hard because you're a giraffe and the servants are people. And giraffes aren't really in the story. Okay, I know it's just a story to illustrate a point. Okay, fine. All right, Jerry, I'll make you a deal. If you can tell me what the point of the story is so far, I'll let you be in the story as one of the servants. Okay? So, here's your quiz question. What is the point of Jesus' made up story? Whoa! That's really good, Jerry. God wants us to forgive because he forgave us. That's true. That's true. That the man in the red should have forgiven the man in the blue because the king had forgiven him. Okay. Well, are you ready then, Jerry? I guess I'll keep reading. Okay. So, when the fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry. And they went to tell the king what was done. They went and told the king what the man in red had done after the king had forgiven him. Well, do you think the king was happy? We'll find out. The king called for the servant. Yeah, so Jerry's telling the man that he has to come and see the king. He still looks grumpy outside the jail because he wants his money. Well, the king called the servant that had originally owed him money, and he said, "You wicked servant! I forgave you all of your debt because you asked me to. You should have had compassion on your fellow man, your fellow servant. You should have had pity on him because I had pity on you. Now, because you didn't have mercy, I'm not going to have mercy either." And with that, the king commanded that the man in red should be thrown in jail until he could pay all of that debt. Wow. That's a really sad story, boys and girls. But Jesus told the story to make a point. If we don't forgive from our hearts other people, then God isn't going to want to forgive us either. Our debt to God is far greater than other people's debt to us. And because God forgives us when we ask him, we must forgive other people. The end. Thanks, Jerry. Hi, Joy. See you guys later.